The glittering California dream has shattered into a heartbreaking nightmare for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's storybook exile in Montecito's ultra-elite enclave has detonated in stunning disaster, with the debt-shattered couple now dodging bankruptcy as they're effectively run out of town under a cloud of scorn and humiliation. The Hollywood fairy tale went unbearably awry due to a perfect storm of missteps compounded by the punishing financial fallout from a bitterly contested $500,000, £400,000, local zoning violation stemming from illegal renovation work on their sprawling $14 million mansion. The gargantuan penalty proved the tipping point, overwhelming their capacities to sustain their lavish California lifestyle or even remain in the exclusive community at all. "We're embarrassingly cash poor," lamented a shell-shocked Prince Harry during an emergency video conference with trusted advisors, according to one person familiar with the crisis. "This zoning disaster kicked our struggling finances full in the ghoulies. After pouring nearly every last rage we had into the renovations, Montecito may have exiled us for good before we've even had a proper chance to resettle." The zoning fees came due following a bitter year-long legal battle waged by their litigious Montecito neighbors over the Sussexes' unsanctioned construction of an elaborate supplemental suite and adjoining staff quarters connected to the main residence. The disgruntled neighbors cited not only municipal code violations, but alleged the new additions created obstructive nuisances and eyesores on shared community vistas. While Harry and Meghan vehemently denied all wrongdoing and insisted the extra spaces were merely basic home office nooks and renovations befitting our professional lifestyles, the local planning commission ultimately affirmed significant violations did in fact occur. The royal outcasts now faced the onerous choice of paying the hefty $500,000 penalty or fully restoring the property to its original state at even greater personal expense. Belatedly realizing the permanence of the damage already done under the commission's withering glare, the couple reportedly still hoped their enduring fame and renovated square footage would make their property an easier sale out of the predicament. However, they soon discovered resale prospects were dismal at best after negative publicity dealing a blow to the mansion's valuation in addition to alienating most prospective ultra-rich buyers in the community. Harry and Meghan considered fighting on principle and requesting the commission grant a minor variance, but the palatial villa they'd lavishly renovated already embodied their privilege in the eyes of the board and wouldn't yield to their pleas, said one person close to the situation. The reality finally sank in. This was Montecito playing hardball to oust the royals for good over the prolonged controversies. With a tidal wave of other legal fees, outstanding debts, plummeting content revenue from their Archwell media deals and dwindling funds from their remaining royal travel budget, the disillusioned couple realized their grand California reinvention hung in the balance. To avoid a catastrophic fire sale on the Montecito compound, Harry and Meghan made the excruciating decision to pay the zoning fines in full as a goodwill gesture to the community, virtually draining their last remaining reserves. She was in tears of disappointment and he sank into a brooding silence, one confidant lamented after informing the pair their personal net worth had dipped under $1 million with the penalties enforced. "I don't think Harry ever envisioned being forced out of the Commonwealth's embrace and into American civilian life under such dire circumstances." In their final weeks hunkering in Montecito, the defeated royals were vexed by countless indignities and shunnings that made daily life untenable. Organizers of the area's charity polo tournaments banned Harry from competing due to a 2-year moratorium instituted against participants involved with community violations. Global business summits abruptly rescinded their invitations citing ethics policies. Neighbors redirected mail or refused to open their gates whenever Harry or Meghan approached for assistance. And in a humiliating postscript, Montecito's reigning queen bee Oprah Winfrey fully froze them out as persona non grata, unworthy of her prestigious social circles. Winfrey allegedly demanded neighborhood unification procedure rules preemptively bar the Sussexes from ever attending her annual Landscapers Ball fundraiser on the grounds they posed divisive security risks following their zoning debacle. After partaking in a misery-laden final Thanksgiving picking at turkey sandwiches in the Montecito compound's deserted kitchens, the deflated Harry and Meghan realized it was time to reluctantly concede defeat in absentia. Their essentially Corona-era roadkill splattered across America's outrageous immigration bureaucracy with nothing but a totaled Nico to show for it, an avatar of the couple's deteriorating American adventure, also struck regarding their ill-fated attempt to brand a discount neo-masculine product line through Mr. Markle's kissy business, which allegedly resulted in paltry cash and countless headaches before being disbanded. Reeling from the loss of every conceivable foothold in the United States just 2 years after triumphantly departing Britain, they reached out in desperation to one particularly sympathetic extended family relation with extensive estates and assets, albeit across the globe, in an unexpected refuge. No one could have foreseen the couple ending up in the Kingdom of Tonga in the South Pacific, noted leading royal biographer Hugo Lusberg regarding the couple's surprising new beachhead in the remote Polynesian archipelago. But with all bridges to the Pacific Palisades burned indefinitely, plus lingering tensions with Harry's homeland still simmering, it's perhaps their only logical sanctuary of last resort outside the Commonwealth sphere to regroup. Through strife and hardships, King Taufuahau Manumalo of Tonga apparently maintained spiritual familial ties and lingering sympathies with his deposed distant British relatives, a hereditary connection tracing back hundreds of years to the first Crown representative's arrival in the Pacific in an earlier colonial era. As fortune would have it, the island monarch immediately offered his unwavering succor upon learning of the Sussexes' plight from emissaries. Halfway across the world from her Montecito disgrace, Meghan would find herself recuperating in the welcoming alofa of Tonga's sun-drenched shores alongside a doting South Pacific chiefly clan. But as they grappled with this dramatic reboot so estranged from Hollywood glamour and their original Californian daydreams, Harry and Meghan also confronted a sobering new reality check. Tonga's sovereign generosity still demanded rigid deference to aristocratic protocols and hierarchies paralleling the very inflexible institutions they'd hoped to flee behind forever. Instead, the couple found themselves humbled under the providential hospitality of King Manumalo's hereditary care, His Majesty warning them plainly to cast off any lingering burdens of grievance and worldly attachments now that they arrived within his island kingdom's sanctified embrace. Bowing respectfully, Harry and Meghan knew reinventing themselves anew required surrendering notions of uncompromised independence on these remote shores. He who visits the realm of Pelotu cannot remain shielded from duty by his previous rank or titles, the king purportedly instructed the wayward royals upon their arrival in his ancient seat of Mue. The ancestral spirits shelter only humble hearts bearing witness to existence's fundamental vapidity. Under King Manumalo's august guidance, Harry was appointed chieftain of the king's Kahoki vessels during deep-sea voyaging canoe regattas off the remote Namuka archipelago. Meghan became an honored craftsperson and residential attaché supervising Tongan artisans' restorations and expansions of the king's joyfully ramshackle yet centuries-old seaside lodge on Hunga Tonga Island. To their admitted surprise, the couple seemed to take humbly to these new prescribed roles as landed gentry and blue-bloods once more, even if their accommodations included a traditional fail roof hut bereft of most first-world creature comforts or the trappings of Western internet celebrity. Of course, it's somewhat jarring to experience such a drastic lifestyle plunge from Beverly Hills nobility to South Pacific dukedom, Meghan said in a rare interview. But honestly, this communal tropical respite feels more spiritually grounded and freeing than our Montecito prison ever did. She smiled resiliently as several local Tongan children scampered across the sand laughing, their faces beaming in joyful reverie. Out here I can truly experience the peaceful simplicities of my truth without Hollywood pretense or public judgment. Back in Montecito, we'd become tangled and corrupted in that world's meaningless opulence and pettiness, the Duchess admitted. If this celestial Polynesian cradle is where our family's cosmic journey leads us to recalibrate our inner light and reatomize what really matters, then I welcome this island detour with an open heart. As for Harry, he was photographed nervously scrambling aboard a hand-carved Vaka canoe during a raucous Kahoki practice voyage against competing islander crews. Clad only in a traditional Tongan kafa basket weave robe and ankle tapa covering, he was barely visible amidst the blur of wiry paddlers save for his conspicuous ginger mop defiantly flapping against an azure horizon. In that single image, the once dashing younger son of the House of Windsor cutting a pensive and conflicted figure matched the historic arc of his controversial exile. Having abandoned a life of supreme privilege to carve out a truth, only to become unceremoniously unmoored within America's fickle entertainment realms, Prince Harry now found his untamed soul neither here nor there.